On Monday of this week, Harvey Wilgoose lost his life to knife crime. That senseless loss of life will bring a massive hole to both his family and the community. We're forced to ask ourselves again what more we can be doing in our local area to try and avert these sorts of disasters. We've looked again at site security, which is not easy on a site as large as ours. The thing that we keep coming back to is making sure that we're doing the simple things well. Largely, that's for our sixth form to make sure that they are always visibly wearing their lanyards. It's the only mark that we have that they belong to our site. And secondly, that gates aren't left open or propped open. Please make sure that magnetic locks are engaged when you leave. Finally, advice for everybody on these sorts of things, and it does sound rather stark, but the government's advice in these situations is to run, then hide, then tell. Not to make attempts to try and stop these attackers, but to run to safety and to make sure that you do all you can to protect yourself in these situations. It's obviously our eternal hope that we don't find ourselves in these situations in the future, but we must be vigilant and make sure that we don't invite this sort of trouble to our front door. There are a number of messages that I need to give you this week across a large area of activities at the school. First of all, around careers survey. So we're carrying out an independent review of the careers service that we offer here at Logic. Part of that is asking parents to fill in a survey about our careers provision. That is attached to the email that follows this message. So please make sure that that is something that you take part in where you can. Next up is Personal Development Week. So next week is our third Personal Development Week of the year, which involves quite a lot of different off-timetable activities. Please make sure that you've reviewed all of the information available on our website there for each individual year group, as start and end times can differ during these weeks. Advance notice that after half term, our subject surgeries for Year 10 and Year 12 will take place. Year 10 parents will be expected in on the 27th of February between 4:15 and 7 p.m. And Year 12 parents will be expected in a week later on the 6th of March, again between 4:15 and 7 p.m. Time slots will be sent out individually in letters to ask you to come in to see. There's no need to make appointments with specific members of staff. We'll allot you those when you arrive. Work experience placements for Year 10. If you're looking for your own placements, please make sure that those work experience forms are returned to us for the start of March. Equally, if you're a parent and you think you might be able to offer work experience to some of our students in Year 10, please do get in contact with us. We're always on the lookout for those sorts of helpful hookups for the future. Mock week. For Year 11 and Year 13, mock week starts just after half term. So the Thursday and the Friday of that week, along with the following week, students will be undertaking mock exams in all of their chosen subjects. These will be taking place in exam venues and are a good replication of what will be happening in the summer. On that, we are also mostly through our futures activities at this time for Year 13. So we've had 80 UCAS applications sent off for university places for next year already. And we're beginning to work now on apprenticeships and degree apprenticeships with a full programme of activities planned out now for Year 13 in the coming weeks. There's information in this email about our coaching program that outlines how we speak to students on a weekly or bi-weekly basis about their progress both inside and outside of the classroom. These are really important moments for students to be able to compartmentalize what's taking place in their lives both inside and outside of school, and can be really useful forums for them to get some of that early help that's needed, or to set personal aspirational targets for themselves for the future. Finally, we've included a piece this week on manipulative marketing within gaming. It's something that we've been made aware of through I think it's called Better Internet for Children. These are practices whereby companies seek to gamify or put elements into games that have a requirement for you to pay money to access them. These can be things like loot chests, which then looks like a form of gambling where students aren't sure, or children aren't sure what it is that the loot chest will contain, but will then buy them anyway in the hope that they'll contain decent items, but then will often have to buy over and over again to get the items that they want, or for buying upgrades in games to make sure that they can be keeping up with everybody else and that aren't possible to attain through normal gameplay. There is a really interesting article attached to that, and just things to be on the lookout for, because I certainly, as a parent, was not aware of many of the practices that go on to try and gamify some of that spending that takes place. This will probably be our last communication before half term, so thank you very much for all your support over this half term, and we look forward to seeing you all again next week.